What's good? We're back with part 2, and in this time, I'm going to teach you about team building and not necessarily like how to build a great team, but just how to physically do it, how EVs work, how IVs work, how natures work, and just a good concept of like how stats work in general. So back on Pokemon Showdown, if you don't remember how to get there, just Google search Pokemon Showdown, go ahead and either download it or play online. I'm in my browser right now. So you're here, you're like, oh, I want to do an OU battle, but I don't have any teams. I have a lot of teams. So what you want to do here is open up the team builder. Yours is probably going to be blank because if you've never played before, you probably won't have any teams. And you'll see this new team thing. It'll be like, boop, new team. All right, so this is great. So now we're in this great new thing where we can click that add Pokemon button or import from text. If you have a team that you found somewhere and you want to copy and paste it in here, you can just copy and paste it right here. If you don't want to though, we have right up here where it says Untitled 89. Up there at the top, that is the team name. So we can just call this like Test Team 1. I usually don't like naming things until after I've made it, so then like I don't always know where I'm going with the team. So after I make it, then I kind of give it a name after what feel I get. It depends how I'm team building for the day. And then you have all these tiers that I showed you before, and then you have some extra ones over here. But if you just want to play if you just want to get into the overused metagame, the OU, which I think is a great place to start. It's one of the most popular places to play. You just want to choose format and choose OU. If you wanted to choose something else, you'd click like PU. So like if you started making a PU team and you click add Pokemon, it'll show you all the PU Pokemon first. So these are all the things that you can use in PU. But we're going to just start building an OU team for the day, just because I think it's a good place to start. So you see a whole bunch of OU Pokemon here, and it's really, really simple. So you'll get a team of 6 Mons, and you can just click on any of these. So let's say you want to put a Kartana on your team. Go ahead, click Kartana, and you have Pokemon Kartana there. You can change his item right here. Here's a bunch of useful items. I can go through some of these in a different one, a different video. You get to choose his ability. Kartana only has one ability, so let me choose something that has more. So Bishop right here. Choose any item, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter when you battle, but like for now it doesn't matter. Abilities, you get to choose what ability you want. You're like, I want Define. That's the best one. And then here are all the moves he can learn. Any move you could possibly want, all you have to do is click on it. So say you want Knockoff, you want Iron Head, and you can see it auto-populates up in this area right here. As soon as you click on a move, it just adds it up there. So you can choose any 4 moves you want, probably Sucker Punch and Swords Dance. That's the basic set. And then it gives you this, which I want to talk about today. It will give you like this sample set, like, hey, like we think you should do this. And this is really basic. It's not always right, but this is your stat screen. So right now, it's nothing. Like you see nothing. It's just, these are EVs. Like what are EVs? Like these are IVs. What the heck is an IV? Why are they all 31? So that's what I want to talk about right now. So right here are like the stat numbers of like what your stat is. Like if you saw it in the game, it would say, oh, you have 271 HP. You have 271 HP. Your attack stat is 286, 286 attack. If you look up your stats online, it'll show you something like, oh, Bisharp has a 65 HP stat, 125 attack stat. And basically, these base stats just factor into an equation with some other things, like with some added EVs and IVs. And by the time you're level 100, it comes out to be 286 if you have 0 EVs, 31 IVs, and you're level 100 with 125 base attack. You're always going to have 286 attack. But if you start adding EVs to it, you can see that your attack goes up. So down here you can see you can use 508 EVs. And what these EVs do are they add extra points to a stat. So right now you're at 286. If you completely max out the EVs, you go from 286 to 349. That is a pretty big difference. And it matters a lot in damage calculations and how much damage you're doing out, or if you want to live a hit on the defensive side or like specially defensive side. So you can see, you can play around with these sliders, and you have enough for 252 and 2 stats, and then 1 stat, 1 point somewhere else. So 4 EVs equals 1 stat point. So you can see right now there's 0 here, it's 236. You slide it up, 4 EVs equals 237 stat right there. And without the 4 EVs, it's 236. The reason they do it this way, and it's not just like 1 EV for 1 stat point, is because the way you get EVs in the game, when you kill like a Pokemon, you'll get like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 EVs depending what Pokemon it is. For instance, I think if you kill like a Tailo, you'll get 1 speed EV. And they didn't want it to be like you kill 1 Tailo and you get 1 plus 1 speed. You'd need to kill 4 Talos to get those plus 4 speed EVs. So you kill 4 Talos, you get plus 4 speed EVs, you get plus 1 point in speed. So that's cool. So in game, this takes forever to do because you have to take your Pokemon to battle, kill a bunch of things. Every generation, there's something to make it like easier, and there's like ideas to speed up the process. But when you're playing online, it's super easy because all you have to do is slide the slider up. Slide the slider up. So the HP stat is clearly how much how many hit points you have here. Attack is how much damage you do to somebody's defense. Defense is how well you survive against physical attack. Special attack is kind of like normal attack, except it attacks the special defense. And special defense is just like normal defense, except it's defense against the special attacks. And then speed is who attacks first. So these EVs are very important in competitive battling, because if I want to do more damage to make sure I kill a specific thing, so say I'm attacking something like a Clefable. Maybe with all these attack EVs, I might kill it in 1 hit with Iron Head, but maybe if I don't have any attack EVs, I might not kill it and he can get a hit off on me. So it's very important that you make specific sets. For most Pokemon, it's going to be pretty straightforward, especially when you're getting into the game. There's no shame in just doing 252 in 2 stats and then 4 somewhere else. So don't feel bad about just doing this whole 252 in 2 different stats kind of thing. Now, a mistake I see a lot of new people make is they're like, oh, well, Bisharp already has like really good attack. Maybe I should put like his stats in something that's not as good. So like, since all my attacks are physical attacks here, you can see that's a physical attack. That's a special attack. Since all my attacks here, Knockoff, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, those are all physical attacks. I don't use my special attack. I don't need the special attack slider at all. That can just be 0 easily. But some people might be like, oh, maybe I should put 252 EVs in my special defense so I can live more special hits. Oh, I just knocked my earbuds out. That's actually, like, sometimes in some formats that might be kind of helpful, but for the most part, you don't want Bisharp to be taking your special hits at all. Like, what you want to do is you want Bisharp to outspeed other things, and you want him to be doing big damage, right? So like depending on what kind of Pokemon you want to use and what attacks you're using, like that will change what you want these stats to be. So since Bisharp is just trying to break down the opponent's defense and do big damage, he's going to want to outspeed them so he can hit them before they can hit him. And then he's going to want to do big damage. The other things that affect what your stat value is are your IVs, which are between 0 and 31. If it's 31, it's higher. If you start dropping it down, you can see every time you drop down the IV, it just drops down a point. So you pretty much always want 31 in all IVs. There are special cases where, like, if you want a hidden power type, hidden power is based off your IVs. So that didn't change it. Let me see. This is weird. Maybe hidden. No. So hidden powers should naturally change your IVs. Oh, actually, might have changed this game because of like bottle caps and stuff. But anyway, if you do hidden powers that can change your IVs, it's not anything you really need to worry about when you're first getting into competitive battling. Usually these IVs, you don't even need to touch them. Like, the computer system will do everything on its own. It's only you really need to worry about it if you have to breed your own Pokemon in game. But that's another beauty of like this online battle simulator Pokemon Showdown. You can just do it automatically and you can go like that and go straight into battle. You don't have to worry about what other like preparing mons and stuff. It takes hours to do it in game. So this is super easy to just like get a team going and go straight into battle. So that's IVs, and the last thing is your nature here. You might have seen them in the game on the summary screen for your Pokemon. You can be bashful, or you can be adamant or calm. And what you see is, say I put calm here, right here in the stat it shows minus there and plus there. What a nature does is it subtracts 10% from one stat and adds 10% to another stat. So, taking those off real fast, looking at Bisharp, he has only physical attacks. So we don't need to use special attack at all. So that's fine if we put the minus in special attack because he doesn't need to use special attacks at all. So we can take a 10% reduction there. And then 10% increase, we're either going to want to put it here to outspeed more things. You can see his speed stat jumps from 239 to 262, so that's a pretty big difference. Or on Bisharp, a lot of people like Adamant, which is minus special attack and plus attack, which jumps his attack from 349 to 383. So you can see the difference between 0 EVs and no nature, 286. And then you add all the EVs to it and add the attack, and now it jumps to 383. It's like almost an 100-point difference. So there's a huge difference that EVs, IVs, and natures make to your Pokemon. So when you're getting into competitive battling, there's great places, great tools to look up good spreads, and a spread just refers to how the EVs are spread out on your Pokemon. There are great spreads online, so you can just search something like Smogon, which is a website that will give you spreads for different Pokemon, and then just what Pokemon you want to use. So let's look up for Bisharp. First thing, it pops up right here. Up here you see we're talking about Sun and Moon, we're talking about the OU tier. Then you just scroll down, it's got all this, like, tells you good items, good abilities, good natures, how you should spread your EVs, good attacks. And this is called a set. So all your Pokemon are going to have their own set, and there are multiple sets you can run for a lot of Pokemon. Right here, Bisharp only has one set, but if you search a different Pokemon, maybe, yeah, right here on the sidebar, you search something like Kartana. If you want to use Kartana, here's Kartana, here's OU, there's also different formats like VGC and Battle Spot singles, which I talked about before, but we want to stay in OU right now because we're building in OU. So here's one set you can use for him. And here's another. And these all function differently on teams. So he has two. And then there's also checks and counters, which are like, how can you best beat Kartana? So using Smogon, and after you get more into the game, you can start making your own competitive sets and like your own creative sets that can like make your own team. So like there are different kinds of Pokemon. This is like Bisharp wants to do a lot of attacking. Clefable usually is a what we call a wall, and I'll probably talk about this in a different video, different types of Pokemon. So Clefable is what we call a wall. He wants to take hits, so he wants EVs in like his HP and defense. But just to leave it here, I think I want to stop around there because I just like explained EVs, IVs, essentially how the team builder works and how natures work. So I'll start getting into the more like strategy stuff, but I just wanted to explain today how EVs, IVs, natures, and the team builder works. So check out next time if you want to learn how to make sets and like understand different kinds of Pokemon like walls and sweepers and just other kinds of Pokemon. I'll be going through terms and stuff. So leave a like, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments.